Today we're going to take a deep dive into insecurities and how exactly you can face them and get over them, make them not part of you anymore. And so today we got myself, Cody, Key, Stone, a little bit of the HDWYG team. And yeah, let's just have a yap sesh.
Let's go ahead and start it.
Want to introduce ourselves?
I'm Keyvon. You can call me Key. We'll start from there. You'll learn a little more on the way.
I'm Stain, and I'm the reason that you spent $35 on our card game.
Yeah, so you guys haven't seen us in a while, especially on the long form content. First video back. The setup's a little bit ghetto, but we're working with it, man. We're doing what we have. We just started. We didn't have everything we needed. Well, we have everything we need, but we didn't have everything we want, and we just started. But what actually started this podcast right here is earlier today I was reading The Diary of a CEO, the book by Stephen Bartlett. Yeah, him. Austin loves that podcast, and he recommended me read that book. And I was reading a chapter on failing and how failing is important, and you should fail a lot more than you succeed, and you should fail a lot more than your competitors. And that chapter got me so hyped up, bro. I was literally like wanting to jump off the walls. I was also drinking coffee too, but
Where were you at?
it was decaf though, huh?
Where were you at?
Bombings with Brennan.
Oh.
But yeah, I was reading that book and that chapter, and like I kept thinking about you saying podcast, and I kept thinking about like he always being like, we should start a podcast, we should do a podcast, and also with like the deep end that we're doing. I'm not sure if this is going to be a deep end episode or if it's just the app sesh, but I was thinking about those two things and I was like, let's just start it, bro. Along with wanting our audience to know us more. Our audience sees our videos that go like really viral, but they don't know anything about us. And to be honest, I feel like that's why we have not a good persona, if that makes sense. Like a persona to our audience, like that connection.
A fan base of like they are fan base for what we do, not us, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a really good way for them to get to actually know us.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then I was like, fuck it, let's just do the podcast tonight. If it fails, it fails. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But let's just do it. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Knowing us, it could be a yap sesh turned deep, or even to whoever's perceiving this, however they perceive it, it might be deeper than what they thought. We thought was deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You're talking about, like, we can look at this as very
borderline,
surface level?
Yeah, and they'll be like, "Oh my god," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
All right. Let's start off. Let's go ahead and just dive into our biggest insecurities. I'm going to go first. Talking. Talking is my biggest insecurity, and I think about it literally every single day. Every time I talk to somebody, I probably think about it subconsciously.
I thought you kind of stopped caring as much.
I did, but I didn't. I used to care a lot. I used to try to be quiet, but I face it every day. What's y'all's biggest insecurity?
You can go ahead.
I'm not entirely sure. But I have noticed that recently a big insecurity, this stemmed from Keyvon. He used to always say this. The insecurity of not knowing how people perceive me. Because I see myself in a certain light and I don't know what other people see when they look at me. And obviously there's the notion of you shouldn't care what people think about you, but I think it's deeper than that. It's the idea that everybody has their own story in their head of you, and you'll never know their story, and they're never going to know your story of how you view yourself. And so I just have no idea how people view me. So it's low-key like insecurity of mine. It's probably the biggest one. And under those is like the smaller ones. For example, like my height. I don't know how people perceive that, if that's the first thing they notice or if that's not, you know what I mean? So I think the biggest insecurity is how people perceive me, and all the other smaller ones are in the umbrella of it.
Okay. If I ask you how do you think people perceive you, what is your instant answer?
Nothing, clearly.
Nothing?
I didn't have an instant answer. I don't know.
Is it just a worry of the unknown? Is it the unknown that you're insecure about?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is it the lack of I'm not gonna say the word control, but I'll give you a heads up of what that'll be easier for you to understand what I'm gonna say. But like lack of like a hearsay of somebody it's kind of like you writing your title of your book and then somebody else come and write some bullshit that you like, I don't like that title.
Yeah.
But like in reality, it's like not what you put on yourself. So it's like I can't make them.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what you're trying to convey, to be honest, but I do have like a specific example. So 2 people that come to mind who I know view me in a really good light is this guy named Micah and Ace. Ace gave me a big compliment saying I'm the best listener he's ever met. And Micah texts me like every 3 days saying, dude, your story post is powerful. And like, that's like, they view me in a certain light. But when I went to the church thing with Ace yesterday, it was this girl who, I wasn't even trying to talk to her, but I'm the guy who runs HDWYG account. I make methods for people to connect with people, but she would not. I feel like I was getting ignored by this girl. And in my head, I was like, is there a story that she has about me from somebody else or what she's seen? And I don't even know about it because she was like literally ignoring me and I don't know why.
Explain how do they know?
An example is they were like singing together a song that Ace made, and I asked them how they learned to sing, and she just doesn't even look my direction or anything. And then the next example is like when she was leaving, she said bye to everybody, and I said her name. I said bye.
Did y'all have like introduction, introduction?
Yeah, Ace introduced me to her in the beginning.
Do you not feel like that's like how she treated everybody, more random people, or you think she knew who you were?
I don't know if she knew who I was. I know a lot of people there did, but I know she's very smiley, very goofy, like very outgoing girl. So I was surprised that zero reciprocation of who are you?
Okay.
So
It could be it's not like she got a bad idea of you. It's like, let's say you got motion and like she got an ego and she's like, I'm not finna look like I'm fanboying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it could be like something like that.
That's true. I don't know.
My insecurity, I don't know, it just changes. It's like a little tiny pebble in the back of my head, and then some days it'll be a boulder. But like it's always rolling. The ball's always rolling, so then it goes out the distance. Like, oh shit, it's finna hit me, and then it's like past me. Like, all right, I'm good. And then some days it'll be there, some days not.
What is it?
I'm finna get to it. I'm trying to know because like I feel like it's something different every time. It's like something I didn't care about, but something triggered a care, and then something I already got through the motions of not caring about, but then like I start caring about again. But and it's like hard for me to think of something at the moment. It's because like I personally right now I feel like I got over a hump of like really giving a fuck what other people think. So I would say like it was my weight, because I can't think of something right now. It was my weight, or like just how skinny I was. But I would say right now, I just don't care. I give zero fucks right now, because like it ain't like when I go home, I'm by myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It ain't like I'm gonna be like showing my shirt, and be like, oh, you like my muscles? You know what I mean? It's like I'm gonna have to go out, or I'm not gonna go out my way just to show my weight. Like let's say I did cure my insecurity with what everybody required of me, I'm gonna have to go out my way to just show them. And then depending on each person is a different story. It might not be the same requirement for each person. So I just like, it's too much energy. I'm spending too much energy thinking about that. You know what I mean? So I stopped caring.
Key, if you're at the beach and your shirt's off and you're with a group who's jacked and there's another group of girls, are you feeling insecure in that moment?
Honestly, probably not until you if you say that in that moment, I might start thinking about it. But that's not my first thought. That's not my first thought. But something came to mind that might still be. I think about this all the time. I don't like wearing short sleeves because like I rather have my whole shirt off than like wearing short sleeve, because like I look smaller than I am with a short sleeve.
Yeah,
like the sleeves are usually bigger. So
yeah,
it makes you
I know everything under my elbow and under is like skinny as fuck. So I just don't. That's like insecurity. I kind of got.
You just got long, lengthy, and skinny forearm.
Yeah, so that's something I still kind of like. I don't even buy short sleeves no more because of that.
Ah, damn.
But it's not like I'm avoiding short sleeve. I just don't feel like it looks good on me. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Hey, Cody.
What's up?
If there was another person with the exact same insecurity as you in the exact same situation, had a cleft palate, got surgery, their voices basically permanently altered. Not altered, but not where it should
Not
be.
normal?
Not normal, yeah. Not normal. What would you tell them?
What would I tell them? I think I'll have the answer after telling a story of how it comes out for me. And it actually came out yesterday, right before I left Tallahassee. I was dropping Joe off, and I wanted a smoothie, so I went to Smoothie King. And
I can already tell you the way you said smoothie.
yeah. And in the drive-thru, they kept asking me, like, what do you want? And I kept saying it. And then they're like, I can't hear you. So I turned my car off because, like, riding with Ledarius and his is straight pipe, ours is straight pipe too. And so I figured maybe it's a straight pipe. So I turned it off. And then she literally switched, like, people on the mic. And then they're like, what do you want? And I finally said what I wanted. And after, like, a couple more times of repeating it, they got what I wanted. And then I pulled up to the window. And the girl was like, she was like, I'm sorry, I can't understand anything you were saying.
What'd you order?
Huh?
What'd you order?
I got, I think it was like the peanut booster, whatever the fuck it's called. It's like peanut butter, protein powder, banana, strawberry, and then I added chocolate, and then oat milk.
What'd you say to the cashier who asked for your order?
I was like, can I get... So I thought you could get a custom smoothie. So I was like, can I get a strawberry, banana, chocolate, and peanut butter smoothie? And like they're like, what do you want? And I kept saying it. And then that's when, after like 4 times of repeating it, that's when they switched. And then she understood. So shout out to whoever you were. But yeah, so that's when that insecurity flared up. But also I noticed the story that I told myself and what I believe is that she thinks that I just can't talk. But I have no idea why she can't understand me. She could have genuinely just not.
You assumed.
Yeah. She genuinely could have not heard what I said. And so I realized and I learned that that's projecting. Me assuming what she thought of me is projecting my own judgment.
On yourself.
Yes, and it's reflecting back on me.
Yeah. So what you would look at yourself and be like, oh, that's what you think about. Or that's what she pointed out.
Yeah. I'd be like, wow, like she probably thinks I talk weird and my voice sounds weird. Mm-hmm. But in reality, like, what if she just like, oh, he got a little lisp, and that's it.
Yeah. Probably.
So.
In that moment, did you like shrink? I'm asking her, like, do you shrink yourself after you like gotta repeat yourself? You like you have to speak louder, but at the same time you want to shrivel up, like. Eh.
Yes, I feel the urge to like crawl up and die, but I don't. I literally like prevail out of that. Like I used to do that. I used to just be quiet and get somebody else like, yo, can you say it for me? I remember I did that with either you or Brandon one time. But yeah, now I just prevail out of it. So what I would say to anybody who has a cleft lip or talks weird, we can say weird. I would say just like literally just keep talking. Like you're gonna feel insecure, but if you don't push past it, you shrivel up and die.
Yeah.
Something I noticed actually, kind of on the same topic, about the young generation, bro. Like I used to say, like do you feel like our class is like really insecure, or do they portray to be? I feel like they are insecure, but they don't portray. They don't like they not like we'll act like we're not, but we are.
Hell yeah, yeah.
This younger generation is so like, and I'll say the generation before us too. That's why I feel like they skipped a generation or something. Like I was at the mall with my nephew, with my cousins, my younger cousins, both 2 of them. And they're hanging out with their friends, bro, and then just the stuff they talk about and stuff like that. It's all like, I don't know if it's just 'cause I'm older, I can see it, or it's genuinely that. But like, they're all like, it's not it's a form of shallow, but like it's just posers, bro. It's just like everybody posers. Like it's literally they just copy what they see as the hottest thing, and they just like put it on themselves.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like that's their personality. And I'm like we used to hide doing that. Like we'll act like we came up with it ourselves or something like that. We'll have the pride in it. Now, their pride is like, I am doing everything everybody else doing. I'm cool. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird to me. It's an insecurity thing, but that was a thought this week, and I was like, that's so interesting to me.
So they are miniature Quans?
No, there's like it's either like Quan's Youngboy or like some Speeds or like whoever at the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you
Or
mean
like
by that? Do you mean they adopt the habits that these people have?
they literally like clones.
Like the charisma.
They're literally clones.
Like they act just like them?
Or they talk, or they do. They just like if you say so what you do is like, oh, you do that. Oh, they let's say whoever at the top they idolizing. They don't do that. You're like, you weird. You know what I mean? It's like that.
Yeah.
Like cousin, like in school, let's say you didn't listen to Youngboy, all right? Would people be like, oh, you weird as hell?
What?
Would they be like, are you weird?
For not listening to him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but now I feel like they'd be like, they don't comprehend you not listening to that now. They just like it's like uncomprehendable. They're like you're
they level
alien.
up.
Yeah, it's like an alien. Like, you know, if you don't like follow the latest trend, they're like, what are you doing? Like, you know, you're like it's like so bot. I don't know, explain it. So bot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Tell me if you guys agree tell me if y'all agree with the way that I see it. If I'm on Snapchat and I see everybody, they all post the exact same. I'm gonna give just an example that's straight up in my head right now. Like they'll suck their cheeks and like post like that.
Girls or boys? Girls or boys?
Boys. I noticed it a lot more with boys. Well, everybody, but specifically dudes in this topic. But they all take the same type of picture. And I realized that. And I realized the way that people go about posting is to cover up insecurities. The way that people say things, they'll make fun of somebody in like in a Snapchat, they'll be like this dude's fucking weird. It's like they're covering up their own insecurity.
I would say I don't come across the same like as much because I feel like I'd probably be off of Snapchat as much as I do. I would probably be on it, but I feel like the people I follow, if I do look at their story, it's like the top 10 that day. I'd say they're kind of different. It was kind of different, but that's interesting you said that though. Like they all be making the same face, like the same faces.
Yeah.
I've always been
it's so
insecure
crazy.
to do the same thing they're doing.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I feel that way too.
That's what I'm saying. That's
why
our
I don't-
generation.
I literally feel insecure
That's why I
to
don't
do the
like
thing
post
everybody
like
We
does.
like to stick out because we want to. That's our ego.
Yeah.
But their ego is like, I don't want to stick out. That's crazy to me.
It is
Damn,
crazy.
Yeah.
But I honestly think that's just a maturity thing. Because when you were a kid, the reason why boomers and your older sisters look like older sisters and they look like they're out of your generation is because like they are. You're doing everything else your peers are doing, and so anything that's not what your peers are doing, they're old. Like we probably look like that to those 13-year-old jits.
I mean, yeah.
Well, like weird as fuck.
We don't hop on the latest trends or anything. Like
But then-
we're just different. We're
but
just
then
old.
What made me expand on the idea is because, I mean, I'm not going to go into what happened, but there's just like older people that are doing like, acting the same way. They're not as old as me, but maybe they might be around, they act like the junior
They'd be as
generation.
old as us, bro. I'll be seeing them as old as us.
They are.
Like graduated high school with us.
But it's like this time of age, they act just like that younger version. I'm like, is it immaturity or is it just the way of how people think nowadays? But like, yeah.
Let me break down insecurities real quick. So, you know how I said I was projecting my own insecurity, my own judgment onto somebody else, which then I thought it was their judgment on me. You guys following me?
Yeah.
That's literally the definition of insecurity. That's the explanation of what an insecurity is. I just got insecure by saying I just realized to say that. But
That's something I'm working on though, personally.
what I'm saying, not like having
Like
filler words.
all the filler words we said don't say in writing, I'm trying to take that out of my vocabulary.
I'm gonna work on that too.
I'm gonna go to
I noticed
English
Austin's really
class
good
too.
at that. Huh?
I'm gonna go to speech class too.
And come on.
Wait, for real?
Your grammar?
Nah, it was a joke.
You finna download the app.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is like the simplest way of putting insecurity. Like you having your insecurity of how people view you. You might be around like that girl yesterday. Your story of yourself in her head that you think she thinks of you is that I actually don't know what you would think, but you might think she thinks you're lame or she doesn't think you're a good person or anything like that. But the way you look at yourself, you feel like she doesn't look at you the way you look at yourself.
Yeah, and the reality is she's not even the one judging. I'm the one judging.
Yeah, she never even told you any of that.
Or you're beating her to the punch.
I mean, you could be, but even if you did, things that don't exist outside of your head don't exist to anybody else, so it wouldn't matter anyways.
Well, what made me say that is because, like, imagine if there's, like, two people doing the same shit, and that's why they don't talk. Because they know you think about me like this. He acting weird. I've had that happen where I'm like, oh, she don't, they don't, I'm gonna say she don't mess with me. And blah, blah, blah. And they be like, oh, he don't mess with me. I get that a lot. And I was talking to somebody, this person, but I was talking about somebody about this in the gym. Not in the gym, but about the gym. And about how they end up resting bitch face, right?
Can you describe her? You don't say her name, though, so I can know who you're talking about?
It's too easy.
Yo.
Yeah. But,
It's fucking 3 letters.
so, like, basically, they was like, I got a resting bitch face, blah, blah, blah. I was like, it's not that bad, but I got one, too. Because, like, I've had people come to me, tell me, like, they don't think I mess with them just by the way I look. And I'm like, what? I probably was, like, let's say it was a girl. Like, she think I don't like them because of the way I'm looking. I'm like, I was probably, like, drooling over you while you don't even know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, like, they probably, like, it's back and forth. I'm thinking they got their face and, like, oh, my bad. I'm thinking they got their face all weird. And I'm thinking, oh, they don't mess with me. That's why I'm not going up to them. You know what I mean? Mm. But the whole time, we're just, like, psyching each other out. And it's, like, filling in their personality, something we don't even know yet. And that's,
my bad.
Go ahead. I was going to fill in.
I got the exact same experience, but, like, years ago. And I think you can relate because we're brothers, and everybody always knew us, but we didn't always feel like those popular kids.
Yeah.
You know how we look at the popular kids, like everybody wants to talk to them.
I've noticed I still feel the exact same way.
I do too, and I'm gonna touch on that right now. That's an insecurity that I just realized that we have. Whenever I worked at Publix, there's this girl that we went to middle school with, and me and her had a normal conversation. And that was probably the first time I talked to her since middle school. I think it was our first day of work that we worked together. Autumn.
Okay.
And she was telling me that whenever I talked to her in middle school, she would tell her friends, and all her friends would tell each other that, oh my God, the triplet talked to me, oh my God. And she told me that everybody was like geeking about that. And I was like, dude, I felt fucking lame as hell in middle school. Yeah. Like, we didn't have any other big friend groups or anything. So the story that I told myself about how everybody viewed me was that, oh, they're triplets, but they're kind of lame. Mm. But she didn't want that.
Where did that come? What filled in that for you?
What do you mean? Like, how did I go with that?
What gave yourself the
what
self-title?
Filled the blank with lame?
Yeah, what's the self-title come from?
People didn't talk to us first. They didn't hit us up. They didn't do any of that.
Okay, I get what you're saying now.
Yeah.
What do you think the reality was?
I think the reality was they thought we didn't want to talk to them, and we were too cool to talk to them. And that's exactly what Autumn told me that her friends thought.
That's insightful. You made me think of when I walked in that building yesterday, that like church, there was like hundreds of people there. I think I'm insecure because I'm known.
Really?
Because I'm exposed. And I don't know who's seeing me right now. And I think that's subconsciously in my head.
And like, I was, this has been popping up every now and then about fame. And it's like, to be able to actually like hold on, there's always the one hit wonders, and there's always the, like, people that blow and then fall off, or like, they just like, I don't like it, I'm depressed, or do drugs and stuff. It's because they didn't never latch onto the idea that you're going to be fully exposed and like vulnerable to everybody. Yeah. And like, when all those eyes are on you, you got to be able to have the energy of see me. And like a whole bunch of people seeing you from not being able to see you is a kind of like a shock value. And you're like, oh, you want to ball up? You're like, oh, or like control what they see, or like feed them. But like, it might be from like, you control who you are, and that's what they see. That's how people probably should look at it. Like, oh my God, I do need to go to speech class. But yeah.
What'd you say?
I think we found
that's an insecurity.
Yeah, we said insecurity at the same time. I'm green.
Awesome.
What?
Do you remember that time in high school whenever your face got so red and whoever was talking to you, you got so red and embarrassed that you walked out the room?
Yeah, Joe and Ilika was talking to me.
Yeah,
it was like
tell them
a slight crush. Okay, that's like the story of start of my charisma journey. That's mad cringe. But before I say that, you made me realize that it's not being an influencer and being known is not what makes you exposed. Being online at all, your face online and being exposed is like you're exposed regardless of what you share, even if it's just a series that's a part of you, because the exposed feeling is not from what they know about you. It's from the fact that they're looking at you because they've seen you before. It has nothing to do with what you shared online. Do you get what I'm saying?
I mean,
Yes.
I hear everything
Yes.
you're saying as I understand it.
The story
I'm just
they
trying to
have
tie
it-
it in.
Sorry.
It's not about any story or anything. It's about the fact that they're looking at you because they know who you are. It doesn't matter what you shared online. They just recognize your face, so they're going to be looking at you. And so
Okay.
you're exposed.
And that's what you be feeling?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
But you want me to tell that story?
Yeah, tell that story.
I got you. I've written about this story before. So basically, all throughout high school, I was mad, short, insecure, like mainly with turning red in situations and my hands will get clammy. And they're getting clammy talking about the story right now. Just because I think that's what trauma is. It's
So
like physical.
Side note, I shake when I talk about things.
Shake.
Really?
Yeah, I was shaking when talking about my insecurity.
Oh, wow. I just get clammy hands a little bit, but
Is it an insecurity of being insecure?
probably, like, yes. So the insecurity was turning red, and the insecurity of being insecure was I'm not going to talk to anybody because I turn red.
Wow, okay.
And so I used to avoid talking to any kind of crowd. If it's more than one person looking at me in the eyes, hell no. I'm getting red, really red.
Alright, wait, back to the story though. Like, continue, finish saying that.
That's where I was going.
Oh, okay.
And so in high school, I remember 7th period, there was this girl I kind of had a crush on. And this day I wore a shirt that had me on it. It was mad cringy. It was just me with my weightlifting belt. And I printed it on a t-shirt. No nibbles. This is the important part of the story. No nibbles. And every single person went up to me and was like, "Where's your nipples, bro? Where's your nipples?" And I was already red. I was already sweaty. I could feel my bangs sitting on my forehead like heavy because they're kind of sweaty and clumped together. Like I was that sweaty at the moment.
Holy shit.
And my insecurity was everybody would notice. I felt like when your shirt sticks to your stomach because you're a little sweaty, but it's not visible. I felt that. And then this girl, Joa, comes up to me and she like asked the same thing, teasing me and stuff. And that's when I kind of lost it in my mind because I started dripping sweat from my armpits from like right here. And as soon as I felt that, I was like, I got up and I just left the class and I just left for like 10 minutes. I just couldn't do it.
You walked away from like mid conversation.
I literally left the class. Like,
Like she was like, "Hey," and
yeah,
you
just
said,
dipped. I left class for like 10 minutes because I was acting like I was getting water, but I just couldn't handle it. It was too
Wow.
much pressure.
So you literally crawled up in a hole and died.
I did. That was my pivotal moment.
I feel like we all had that though.
"Yeah."
Ever since then, the biggest thing I overcame was one I realized, and I think more of the population than not gets red when they talk to people. So I think the biggest realization I had is turning red's not a big deal at all. Even if you do, if you don't care that you're red, it's not a big deal to anybody. They'll just point it out and you'll be like, "I am red. I'm just a little nervous." And that was the biggest thing that shifted it, is first starting out with realizing that turning red's not an issue. And ironically, you stop turning red when you don't see it as an issue.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like,
Yeah.
the more you get comfortable in those situations and not running from them, the more you don't turn red. So
And then the very next thing I did was eye contact. I would look at people and only look away after they did, because I was forcing myself to be comfortable with eye contact.
How'd you know to do that?
I don't know.
Oh.
I think I read. I think those. I don't know. It might have been a book. That was the time where we read all the time. But
Okay.
yeah, that's how I got over my insecurity of being red faced and clammy hands, which I still get clammy hands, but it's whatever.
Do you still dap people up with a claiming hand?
Yeah, but I just hit one of these.
Okay.
I feel like we all do that.
Yo, so I wanted to circle that back into last night, yesterday. Well, actually, what you said about when you feel like exposed, insecure when people know who you are because you were known. That sounds like it could be like connected in some sort of way. That's what I thought about. Is
Like all
whenever
the attention's on me.
yeah, everybody's attention's on you last night when everybody was meeting you and knew who you were. I think it was more so just the fact that everybody knew who you were, though.
Well, like, people wouldn't come up to me and meet me. I just know they knew who I was.
Okay.
I would see them, like, peek an eye, like, twice. And then I'm like, they know me.
Okay.
That sounds really egotistical. But, like, it was just like that. And,
They do, bro. They just do.
And this is, like, a little deeper. And it's not as heavy as it sounds. But I think another part of it is the realization that they don't even know I don't know anybody. They think I'm like some popular kid. I don't know anyone. I just know my friends, my 4 friends. I don't deeply know anybody other than them. And like that's a little insecurity too, I think.
Being seen but not able to see them.
Being seen but not known, and they don't realize that.
Okay.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, that's it. Enough about me. What's an insecurity you actually overcame, and how'd you do it?
Side note before that, I have the complete opposite of your insecurity right there.
What?
Like, I like that people know me and don't know me. Like, they see me but don't know me.
What's the idea that I was there like solo? I wasn't next to anybody I knew.
Okay.
Well, I was, but if they left, there'd be no one I knew at all. Everybody's a stranger.
That's true. An insecurity that I've overcame. I would say, I'll speak on like speaking. It's still my biggest insecurity, but from where it was, I've overcame it so much. And that was an umbrella in itself. I vividly remember I was at a basketball game in high school, and I used to put my tongue right here like this.
To look like you had a lip?
Yeah, because I had an underbite.
I do this. I thought you were gonna. I'd just be sitting there and be like, "What you doing?" I don't even know.
Why are we all doing it now?
But
Emancipation Association.
exactly, I did that because I wanted to look
Semantics.
like I had like normal lips. I wanted to look like my jaw was like in the right spot because it clearly wasn't. And I remember somebody pointing it out. They're like, "Bro, how the fuck are you doing that?" I was like, "Damn!" Like I felt like that sweat shit you were talking about, where sticky shirt, sweating armpits. I instantly got that. And that was my umbrella of the speaking. And then the way I've kind of started getting over my speaking insecurity is literally just speaking more and pushing past it.
Yeah.
I would say it's that. There's definitely some sort of psychological thing I've learned and deep thing, but honestly, it's not in my mind right now. If it comes to mind, I'll share it. But it would just be like actually taking the action, and actually one just came to my mind. Not taking the action before I can even think about it. I'll speak to somebody before I can think about how they're going to interpret what I say. And that's gone to a bunch of areas in my own life.
Yeah.
Mine would be like I would speak. I need to speak. Well, it's not the exact same thing. It's kind of what I was telling you about calculating what I say before I say it. It's like I need to just say what I want to say before I think about what I need to say. So basically, go ahead and just blurt something out before I start thinking about it. Because I told you about. I was told to always think before I talk, and that made me not want to talk. So then I became more conscious about it. Well, when I was younger, I just didn't talk because I was like, I don't know what to say. But now I feel like I'm smart enough to calculate what I want to say. So, but now I need to stop that also.
Like you don't want to calculate it now? Okay. You want to speak freely?
Yeah, but not saying like my calculations are not necessarily me. It's a formula, but I just want to be raw.
Okay. Well, speaking of that, like speaking freely and how you said you used to not talk, do you remember when you said we should not have a hard filter?
Mm-hmm.
That,
Is that what?
Ever since you told me that, or us that, I've been thinking about that every single day. And I think about how that applies to me because I have a pretty big filter, honestly, on social media, and I don't even realize it's there. Like, there's a lot of fucked up jokes that we all make, and just like the way that we think, I don't think we always 100% accurately say / convey it.
And I think partial why we hold ourselves like that is because we're the insecurity. Let me tie it back in. The insecurity in us would be somebody can say something about us, and we'll start thinking that is us when that's not. We know us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I think for me, it is me. The only thing I leave out is wittiness and social media. Like, I don't know how y'all feel in terms of affinity to like what we are on social media, but I'm very strongly affiliated with it. It is who I am. I just leave out the wittiness, which means the sassiness, some fucked up jokes. I'd be down to put him in there, just not the one you put in the story the other day. That's crazy.
Would you?
So the other day, you saw it?
No.
Okay, the other day,
He's basically said we're making a course that
Wait,
if you're kind of autistic, you would take it.
okay, but let me give you the master. Wait, have you ever seen the movie The Accountant?
No.
It's a great movie, but the main character is autistic and he's smart as fuck. But he's awkward as hell, doesn't make eye contact, and doesn't know how to socialize, but he wants to. And so I made a story saying that Austin, 99% Austin, 1% me, make a course. If you're awkward and don't want to be, it's for you. I said, if you want to get deep with somebody but don't know how, this is for you. Something along those lines. And at the end, I was like, especially if you're autistic, this is for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought about that in my head, and I was like, I'm gonna type it. And I really hesitated posting that. Like I took it out at one point, and then I was like, dude, I'm just worried about somebody following us or DMing me and being like, you're so fucked up. But dude, if I want to attract people like myself, they're gonna think that shit was funny.
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And so I posted it.
That's all ties into, you don't what's something you said earlier? You said, what was your main insecurity?
Now or used to be?
Right now.
Not knowing how people perceive me.
Yeah. And I feel like for me, like if I was to have that implemented in my life, and if I was like partially how, I say I perceive myself, and like if I was to filter, I have that same situation where, I'll have something, I'll be like, let me take that off, let me redo it. I say it like this. Cause like, I'm in my head, I'm trying to reach perfection, and there's no such thing as perfection. So what I was going to say is that, damn, I lost the thought. Damn.
Perfection doesn't exist. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, I'm going to get it back in a second, but go keep talking.
Me keep talking?
Yeah.
Ooh. Wait, do you have something more to share that's like, is it going to be a different kind of topic or the same?
I actually don't even, I was just going yap, dude.
Okay, so I actually have a thought that I wanted to say. I wrote it down in a HDWYG post. Have you guys ever met somebody where you can tell they're trying to make everything they say perfect or appear a certain way, and you literally in your mind like, what is this person fucking like?
I got it one more time.
What's up?
All right. So basically, about the perfection thing is because I was gonna say the answer to your insecurity would be what I said the other day was you don't want everybody to like you. You don't want everybody like
Oh, you talking about what you posted?
Yeah.
Dude, that shit was fucking powerful.
What was it?
It was, why are you trying to get everybody to like you when you don't even like everyone?
Yeah. So.
Can I be real with y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Winners invented that quote.
You think they invented it or they
not
found
invented it, but they're the first pioneers who put it on a tee. I thought that was cool.
Really, they just saw the quote and thought it was cool and put it on it.
I mean, yeah, that's true, but I just always remember them because that's crazy. It doesn't feel profound anymore, but obviously I remember who made it, so like it is profound.
Was it profound when you saw it?
Hell yeah! I was like, damn, I wish I thought of that.
Yeah, dude, I was like,
yeah, that was pretty powerful.
what were you saying? Though?
Well, yeah, that's what tied into what I was saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
We shouldn't care.
That is true though.
It's not. We shouldn't care if everybody cares about likes us if we don't like everybody. But I'm not gonna repeat that. Yeah. It's self-explanatory.
To be honest, I would just be honest with myself. I do want everybody to like me.
Mm-hmm.
I realize that.
I do too.
And I'm aware of that, and I go against that for myself.
I used to think that way until I started being around people I just don't like. And I'm like, I don't care no more.
Like, I don't care. They don't like me.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to. I don't like. Your 2 cents doesn't matter to me because I don't like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like.
Some a lot of them blue hair people.
Even that, I'm not saying them. I would not saying them. I'm just saying like, I don't go up to a lot of people in the gym. It's because like I feel like, well, I'm not assuming, but it's like, let's say I overhear their conversation. There's nothing that entices me to talk to them. I'm not saying I hate them. I'm saying I don't care about them. So for them to say something about me, I would give 0 fucks now.
Okay.
Yeah. Like their thoughts to me don't align with me, and if I talk to them, it'd be cool people and blah blah blah. Then I would probably start like, oh, you're close, we relate. So then I would care about what they say. But at that point, you should like me because you like me. Fuck, you know what I mean? But
Is that narcissism?
Huh? That the way
I've never understood what narcissism meant. I have no idea.
I figured it out today.
How?
By an example. If you said something fucked up to somebody and you know it's fucked up, in the heat of the moment, you know how you say things in the heat of the moment that you wish you didn't have said? Well, if you're not in the heat of the moment and you don't feel remorse for it, you're a narcissist. If you still can justify why you said that, even though it was really fucked up and it hurt their feelings and you just don't give a fuck, you're a narcissist.
Is that what a narcissist actually is?
Like, that's just a trait that a narcissist has. And everybody has
Narcissistic. Bro, hey, editor, put that shit in.
Everybody has narcissistic traits.
Yeah.
Well, I've actually been thinking about that also. Like that idea of like, remember when I told you what?
I'm not gonna mess
I
up.
was so telling the joke. I was like,
I was thinking about like, you know, how I told you that one of the toxic traits to validate my reasoning for thinking I'm right, and or like, you know, that, remember that it was at the meeting when I was saying like how like I used to be like, you're just gonna be dumb and then walk away from it. Like, you know what I mean? That's like a narcissistic vibe.
Yeah.
What I'm doing isn't bad, but what I'm using to validate what I'm doing is bad. So like the goal isn't like what I say when I'm talking to people and not caring isn't bad, but like the way I handle what my reasoning way of handling it. Like let's say somebody like, I feel like they're just very immature, and I'm like, why are they? I'm like, if I let them irritate me and be like, why are they immature? I'm not giving them grace, or that sounds narcissistic. I'm acting like I'm above them, but I'm not. I got to work on how I'm gonna tie that.
oh, that's what a narcissist is. Someone who feels like they're above everyone.
No, that's a trait probably, but I wouldn't.
This is some up in the air ass word. Like,
No,
no one
it is.
knows what it means.
It's a collection.
Oh,
Cause like
it's a demographic.
Would you say?
yeah,
It's a culture, literally. If you think about it, it's just a culture.
Yeah.
but it's one thing you can pinpoint is like it's self-defense to a max.
Self-defense.
That's right. Would you say that was a narcissistic trait that you had?
Yeah, it was self-defense of why I have the ability to walk away from something and be like, it's okay. I don't have to make him believe me or know, you know, let's say, or think I know better. So I'd be like, oh, he's just gonna be dumb and walk away from it. Like I had to stop doing that and be like, I mean, he might be right, I might be right. I believe I'm right. That's all right.
That shit sounds so fucking funny, bro.
Yeah.
He's gonna be fucking dumb.
Yeah, but you know, in reality, he might be thinking the same shit. You know? So, and I might not even be right, you know. So
That is. Austin, what's a narcissistic? God damn it, bro. You know what I'm asking. Yeah.
I actually just thought of one. So, when I believe I'm right, if you don't believe what I'm saying, you're dumb. That's like a thing I feel a lot. Mainly with things I think on, and I know you've heard this before by me, by the way, and I don't say that with pride. But when I know I've done my due diligence for a thing that I know, and I feel like you didn't, and you don't know what I know, like you don't agree with what I'm saying, I'm right and you're wrong. So I'd say that's a narcissistic trait I have.
Okay.
Like when I really believe I'm right, you're just wrong if you don't believe what I believe.
I just had a scenario. I'm wondering, what do you think these people think about in that situation? Let's say I'm somebody who wrote a book, and it's like I'm very, what do you say, polarized, and I'm like saying my thoughts. You think the next person that comes with a book that like kind of goes against what I'm saying is dumb as hell? Like, do you think the book authors of the first book think the other person is dumb as hell, or they just internalize what the other people said?
I think it depends. Some things just shift consciousness. Like
Yeah.
some thoughts that are completely against what you believe are like, wow.
Yeah.
I actually had that the other day. Don't remember what it was. But I think a third party, a reader, would take in both of what they say. But I think the authors themselves would think each other's are kind of dumb. So
Okay. And I was thinking like another scenario is like we could learn, like our parents go through that all the time. We'll tell them something that's like updated, and it's not like, you know, they'd be like, no, and they'd be like, no, this is what this means now, and you'd be like, they'd be like, oh, they get humbled. So that's,
yeah.
I guess I was just looking for a scenario in real life. I was like, I wonder how that higher ranking people deal with that. But yeah.
Are y'all boys ready to shed some?
Wisdom is what you're gonna say, isn't it?
Huh?
Bro started jizzing on us. He's like,
That was not even.
I was gonna say, are y'all ready to shed light on exactly how to work through an insecurity and have it gone?
I'm down.
in the best way I can.
I'll start by just saying what you just said. Awareness shifts consciousness. Whenever you're aware that that is an insecurity that you have, that's the probably 50% of the way to getting over it.
Why?
Because, for example, this conversation made me aware that I'm insecure that I don't feel popular, if that makes sense. How we were saying, like in school, whenever we felt like nobody really fucked with us, but really they thought we didn't fuck with them. Like Like, I never really realized that was an insecurity I had.
I think I just realized what that stems from. Remember when we were kids and we thought we were like ugly or something because people would always stare at us?
Yeah.
But that was before we were like popular. And I think that probably stuck with us because it was every single day. And we just never thought about it to let it go. It's just in there. That's like our little child, like, oh, they're making fun of me right now.
Wow.
Another thought about what you said, like in school, that scenario. Let's say you are like that. That person that Stain thought that girl was thinking he was. You're like, oh, let's say for the popularity thing. They're looking at, oh, you're cool. Then you're like, they don't think I'm cool. So then you put on like a puff chest. Let's say you might, I don't know, I'm saying this to anybody. They might put on a puff chest, like, you know what I mean? And they'll portray. Then now people are actually portraying you as what you think you were, but in a negative light. Because it's like inflation. It's like you're inflating yourself.
That's literally how a bully's made, bro.
That's what I'm thinking of, bullies. Like a bully. Like that's like a bounce off of an insecurity.
Yeah.
Resulting in what he thought he was.
And he wants to be that.
Yeah.
So he's inflating it.
Yeah.
I've never done that. Literally never. I think it's because I've just been aware that I would be doing that. And that just feels like corny to me. Like, doing something because I'm insecure feels so fucking corny.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've been
myself.
aware for like super long time. But I'd say Key maybe longer. Stories about him being a jit, sucking shit out the air is crazy. Like,
Pause.
Pause.
yo, pause. All right, with no context, that's crazy. But like, that's awareness right there.
That is.
And I don't know, like most people aren't aware like that. And yeah. But do you have any more to share on insecurities, getting over them?
I mean, yeah, awareness is the first step. The second step is to create a commitment for yourself.
Grounding.
Grounding? What is that?
I'm saying like you anchor yourself to something.
Oh, yes. I think some insecurities, the awareness, will literally make it dissolve. Like how you just said, us being aware that when we were kids, we never thought about our insecurity of being stared at. What if that could have made it all go away?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think sometimes,
Like, we're going to realize that next time.
yeah, and I think sometimes the first step might be the last step. However, for most insecurities, I think it starts with awareness, and then it starts with creating a commitment. If you're scared to talk to people, create a commitment to talk to somebody and say the words that you avoid saying, like I used to. Just say them. They're gonna understand you at some point, eventually.
It might take 10 tries, but they'll
Yeah.
understand.
And I've noticed if I think about what I'm saying when I'm talking to somebody, they don't understand me even more because I'm trying to contort my words in a way that makes them understand. But they never even told me they're gonna understand me, so I'm talking different for no reason.
Okay,
So yeah,
solid.
step 2. Step 3 is repeating that. Repeating step 1 and 2. And
Okay.
I think over time, the insecurity dwindles. And you also realize that it's not a part of your it's not a part of your identity. And that comes with the awareness. Sorry to backtrack, but the awareness is also realizing that it's not a part of your identity. Your insecurity isn't who you are. Me thinking I don't talk good isn't who I am. It's just what I think about myself right now.
Yeah.
And I don't have to think that about myself. So,
Did you read that book, Just a Thought? That's where I learned about that.
no.
But so step 1 is awareness shifts consciousness. When you become aware of it, I would call it corrective action.
Yeah.
So do things, so awareness shifts consciousness and then do corrective action. And when you just repeat that over and over, the distance between your insecurity and your self-identity is lengthened.
Becomes replaced.
Yeah.
And to add on to that, yeah, she just brought me clarity, thank you. To add on to that, in order to change your self-identity, you need first-hand experience. If you don't think you get growth, and you just try to tell yourself and convince yourself you get growth, while that might take you a little bit, it's not going to change anything, and you're still not going to get growth.
Mm.
What if you start getting growth, going after them, and getting positive, getting a number, you get rejected, but you get numbers. Your identity is being changed because you have first-hand experience, and we need first-hand experience.
You learned that at CEO.
I did.
And that's the anchor though. Doing the practice, because it'll you know, when you say like you gotta make who you are, that's making you believe in yourself practicing it.
Yeah, by actually like showing yourself.
Yeah, showing yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So how would you guys say the step process to getting over
Mine's
insecurity?
not really steps.
I was gonna share just how something like it's always different points in my life where you come over something. But pause. But
This guy.
but you for me in the last time I really kind of like woke up to became aware, became conscious of certain things, is spending time alone. Because if I'm out and about in the world, it's like, and I'm actively like insecure, I'm not breaking the cycle. I'm always around somebody. So it's like I'm never going back to who I was originally. I'm always projecting. So like when you go home, like when I said when I go home, I don't give a fuck. But when I'm outside, I do. So when you're out at home, you practicing being yourself without any filter. Like
Okay, yeah.
there's no reason to feel like the need to not safe.
Like that take.
You're not safe. You're safe at home. You know what I mean? And you just, to me, I just remember. I just go outside and remember I'm safe regardless. So yeah, it's safe to be me.
So how do you take how you feel at home without any outside pressure, and you know who you are, you feel who you are? How do you take that and keep that whenever you are back out there?
Awareness shows consciousness.
Yeah, awareness of that what I'm doing in that moment might be something that I don't want to go back to, or even just being proud that I'd be able to be aware, and that gives me the energy to stay aware.
Okay, so being aware of who you are
Yeah.
when you're at home?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say meditating helps with that?
Yeah, I do. And then like also, I know you're trying to like give it like a step, but it's hard. I feel like what you said is kind of what I would say, so I'm not trying to say that again. Just give me a different perspective. But yeah, and like personally, it will sound like ego, but like in my head, I'm building back up myself to who I know I am, and that is a high. Unless you think you're really low. But like you should never be low. It should be high. And to outside people, it might seem egotistical, or you might seem like a not narcissist, or you know what I mean. People are like, oh, you think you're that shit? No,
Yeah, literally
like,
those phrases.
Like but no, I'm proud of myself, not prideful. I'm proud, and I'm happy to be myself, without you saying I am or not. So,
Okay.
So it makes sense to me. Allow yourself to be yourself at home because all your walls are down. And then in public, remember who you were at home so you know who you actually are and not the insecurities you're projecting.
In the terms of meditating, remember how that feels. Remember how it feels in that moment. And try to remember that in the moment you don't feel like that. And try to replicate it. Try to replicate that. Feel yourself.
Okay. By the way, I brought up meditating not as a step, but as like creating a connecting point to getting to know yourself. In my opinion, meditating is a great way to get to know yourself.
Very true.
So
I agree.
That's why I brought that up.
Kevon, you reminded me of something I wrote last night actually at the church thing. It was about silence. You said when you're around people, essentially, let me know if I'm wrong though, if you're around people all the time, you don't really have the solitude to actually know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And so your insecurities are just, you don't even know them.
Yeah.
So something I wrote yesterday was the art of casual silence. Most people haven't felt 30 seconds of silence in weeks. The art of casual silence is embracing the silence you never let yourself have. Without solitude, it's impossible to live a life of peace where you know yourself. You spend your days in distraction and never alone with yourself. Distraction keeps you shallow. Casual silence fills you with depth. And in this case, with depth of who you are.
I agree.
So solitude's a great thing, my boys.
Yeah.
I read that on your story.
You did.
Yeah. W thoughts.
Appreciate it.
Sterling, how would you say you can get over insecurity?
Okay, I'm gonna do how I always do it, which is I don't really do step by step. I just give a deeper understanding of insecurities so that it just doesn't leave your brain. So I actually wrote like a 3-page thing about insecurities one time, so I won't get the whole spiel, but basically, you mentioned earlier that, what was it you mentioned, bro? I don't know, I'll just skip it for now. But the idea is that you're not insecure, you just think you're insecure. Because an insecurity that is who you are means it would show up at all times throughout the day. But there's moments where people understand you. There's moments where you don't even think about the fact that no one understands you. There's moments where I don't feel short. Any insecurity you have, there's a time where you didn't feel it. And so that means it's not you. Because if it was you, it'd be all the time. And, man, I'm losing my train of thought now. I'll click off the
And
video.
we'll be back.
Nah, but let me get back on track. So you're not insecure, you just think you are, because insecurities would show up at all times throughout the day. Okay, this is how people feel really insecure, and they believe this insecurity is valid. There's plenty of instances where people understood you. Probably 90% of the time they understand you, but your brain associates to 10% of when they don't. And so you probably can't even think of a time when somebody understood you, or like a bunch of times. But you know in the back of your hand that time in high school when you had to repeat yourself 60 times, and then your brain was like, yep, that's my insecurity, it's true. Like, they have no idea what I'm saying. But in reality, it was 10% of your life.
Yeah.
Talking life.
Yeah.
So I think that's
What you focus
a
on
big
grows.
thing. Yeah. What you water grows.
And
Does that make sense at all?
it
does.
does.
Makes a lot of sense.
I think that's the biggest thing, is that you're not as insecure as you think. Because an insecurity means it's who you are. But if you look at yourself, there's a lot more times where your insecurity doesn't show than when it does.
So instead of learning new way to look at some things, instead of it being my insecurity, it's just an insecurity. As in, it's not who I, as in, it's not who I am. It's just something that I feel a lot of times.
Yeah, it's like what you said earlier. You basically said the same thing.
Okay.
And I also add, most people have an insecurity of being anxious. Like mine, you could call that anxiety when my face would get red. Or when I would have clammy hands. Like, that's technically anxiety. So
Same thing as adrenaline.
that is true.
Adrenaline.
Anxiety is excitement misinterpreted. That's something I did learn.
What do you say?
Anxiety is excitement misinterpreted.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you feel nervous, you're excited.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whenever you know you're finna throw a surprise party for your girlfriend, you're excited as fuck. You have the same clammy hands, you have the same nerves.
It's the same thing.
You just have a different
It's the
association
same
with
signal in your brain. It's just different situations.
Yeah.
Wow.
Negative or
Different,
positive.
so it's a different interpretation of the signal?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's not just bro science. I'm pretty sure it's
That's
actual
actually
science.
science, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I've actually been applying that in my life. Whenever I feel nervous, I'm just like, I'm excited.
I know. I tried to do that for a while,
I feel
bro.
corny, don't it?
No,
Yeah,
no, it's
dude.
it didn't
Yeah.
necessarily feel corny. It's just like, it's not working. I'm still scared. You know what I mean? I just say I'm like supposed to be like, for instance, when I told you I did the track and I was like nervous and I was shaking, like that I had to step in for somebody running a 4x4 and I'm used to doing long jump. I was nervous, but technically,
Like, tell the story so that the
All right, so
audience understands.
basically in 8th grade, I did track and then like I did long jump though. So I never really, I wasn't a sprinter. I'd have done sprints, but I didn't want to compete. I was scary. You know what I mean? So, not slowing anything, but I'm just saying. So basically somebody can show up. So then I had to pop into place for somebody. And then when they told me to do it, it wasn't like, no, you down to do this? No, they're like, you got to do it. I'm like, ah. So the whole time building up to that happening, I'm over here sweating bullets. Like if I was white, I was red. You know what I mean? And I'm like shaking. You could see me shake. And the homie, the friend, acquaintance, whatever you want to call it, at the time, he was like, if you don't stop, I ain't finna drive around his name. And he was like, man, if you don't stop shaking, if you better not be scared. If you scared, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. And I'm like, hey, what? I'm scared of shit. And I'm scared. Like I'm over here like, I don't care what you're saying. I'm still scared. You know what I mean? You gotta do, don't do that, but do what you gotta do. But I'm not gonna let you do that. But what's called? So I get there, and then I line up, and it's coming. I'm still scared. I'm still nervous. I'm still anxious.
Can you use your foot back like this?
No, actually, I was gonna say I feel like in that moment, I'm not trying to sound like I'm persuading my conversation to be actually what I'm about to say. But me thinking about it right now, I was probably like very dialed in like right when it happened. Because my mom, all right, so let me finish. So I get the baton and I'm running. I'm behind. The last dude fucked me over, right? Like I'm talking about, I'm the last one to get the baton. Something in me, which would be the adrenaline that I'm talking about, which was the anxiety, pushed me to a new limit to where I could be able to come back up into like second, third after being in the back. And when I got done, I ended up beating everybody's time that does this, that were like, you know, people that already do it.
On our team?
Oh, yeah, on our team.
Okay.
And they were like, this ain't right. This ain't true. This ain't no way this happened. I was like, I don't believe it. But my mom, I went back to my mom. She was like, oh, you must have been scared as hell, huh? Because you did not want to get last, huh? I was like, I must have, because I was really scared because I, you know, but it pushed me to a new limit. But to say that, that's probably the same feeling other people are feeling for, like, you know, adrenaline and excitement.
Excited.
But I was nervous. But that carried me to the end goal because I pushed through that nervousness, I guess you could say. That correlates, but that's the story.
I think a reframe. Right before that story, you said you try to trick yourself and it ain't working.
Yeah.
I think the reframe though is whenever I feel anxious, it's not that I'm excited, trying to trick myself. I'm like, okay, this is how I feel. I'm supposed to feel this way. This is excitement. It's not tricking anything. It is excitement. You're supposed to feel that way.
Well, when I would use it, is when try to use it when we go to people. Like when we go to people, I'm like, I'm just excited. I'm not nervous.
I get it.
And then you still,
Back in the day?
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm still. Well, come to now, I'm not scared no more.
I think I was more insecure than nervous.
Nah, I'm nervous.
I get it.
I'm nervous, and then I become insecure because what happens out of my nervousness. So let's say I'm stuttering, or you know, but yeah. But that's the time that I would say I learned about that, and I was like, I'm just excited. I'm not nervous, especially in a car about to pull up to the spot. You know, when we be dragging feet.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm not nervous. I'm excited.
So it would be like delaying.
Yeah, delaying. Yeah, but that's my example. Yeah.
Okay.
But it is the same thing. I will say that.
I've never understood anxiety, just like we've never understood. I forgot what the word is.
Depression?
Huh?
Depression?
No, not depression. What we were talking about narcissism. It's always felt like a blanket statement. So does anxiety for me. I don't know what anxiety is, and somebody will probably tell me I have it, but like I wouldn't ever say I have it because I don't even know what the fuck it is. I was gonna put that out there.
I would say I used to have anxiety. I don't
Maybe
claim
my
that.
ignorance is a good thing. Maybe my ignorance is a good thing.
Maybe
I don't
it's
know.
not.
That's like the dads that don't know they're like, you know, got a problem.
Don't know their dicks.
Yeah, they're dicks, and then they'd be like, "What do you mean? I'm normal." Or like
I'm just a man.
Or insecure man, like, you know, he doesn't know he's insecure, but he's like, "I'm just a man," you know.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
I would say in our culture, like, I think we can point out insecure men more than like people used to be able to.
I 100% agree. I think as people specifically, we can.
Yeah.
But that also
Thanks.
goes back into what I was gonna say. Our generation doesn't want to be that outcast of like, oh, you're weird.
Yeah.
Probably because we are in the pink hair, purple hair era where you will get called out for being some type of way. So everybody wants to be cool, like good, instead of like the same. They want to be different.
What's that pink hair?
The difference.
Kelly's trying to hate you.
My bad. No, I'm not apologizing.
I'm joking, bro.
The old bullies are the new bullies type of thing. It's all flipped. It's the same thing. Same system. The old bullies are the new bullies. The people that you wanted to be cool, now you want to be cool in a different way. But it's the same motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I low-key had another finishing thought to my insecurity talk. So, our minds generalize. That's the thing I was missing. Meaning, if you have an identity for yourself, your mind's going to try to prove the identity because then it creates a sense of safety because it knows what it's talking about. And that falls in insecurities. If you have a belief that no one understands you and you're insecure about it, every time you witness that, your mind's going to save that for later. It's like saving the proof so that it's like, okay, I was right. This is true. Because if you try to convince yourself otherwise, you're just going to be like, who the fuck am I? And then your mind feels like it's not safe. That's like the other point of that.
Kind of like the familiarity concept.
Yeah.
It's familiar.
Question: should I wait to piss, or
Yo, we're gonna be having our finalizing it soon.
Okay. I didn't know we're gonna be like everybody sits down until it's done, or like
First pod's gonna be 3 hours.
It
2
was
hours.
literally.
It was 8:30.
Oh.
It's 2 hours.
All right.
I know everybody felt like we weren't gonna have nothing to say in the beginning. Well, not
That's always how it feels.
Yeah, I know.
Every
I
conversation.
don't know how it started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying I know everybody was like
It's probably gonna be like that for a while, but fuck it.
I don't know.
No, I
Stephen
feel like
Bartlett
now.
taught me just start in the deep end. Start with a question that you actually want to know the answer to, and from there it flows.
Okay.
That's what I would say about him.
All right, guys. So, with this said, just going to start wrapping it up. Do you guys have final thoughts?
Yeah, if you want to have more conversations like this, link in the description, howdeepwego.com. It is our original method to build a deeper connection with anybody. We created it after doing a series for like a year and a half, where we would interview college students, and then everyone would DM us. Everybody would comment, "Please, I need the questions." And then one day, I had the bright idea. I'm just gonna make it into something people can buy.
You put them backwards on purpose.
No.
And so there they are. This is how deep we go.
Right here. Whoa, that's the other one. Right here. I'll go ahead and bounce off you with mine. This is how deep we go, like Austin was saying. And also we have a new one that isn't released at the time of this recording, but it will be within the next upcoming month or two. Or three. Lovers shipping, dude. Lovers edition. If you said I love you to your girlfriend, to your wife, whoever, this is for you. You guys need to play this game. Why are you laughing?
This is an expression. 3.
3 fucking months?
Dude, we got.
Oh.
But,
Bro, the year should be over.
wait, one second. So, if we provided any sort of value to you, if you guys feel that we helped you learn how to overcome your own insecurities, subscribe, like the video. I don't know the percentage of people that are subscribed that watch this, but it's probably
100%. we get
It's something, dude. So go ahead and subscribe and like. Don't submit to association that out of your mind. And
That's a tough
leave
one
a
to
comment telling us topics you guys would like us to talk about. Leave also a comment of what you would like to see as a background, because this is the first podcast and we could definitely improve.
Yo, are you done with closing tradition?
Yeah, what's up?
Just share one like stupid simple thing anyone can apply in their life that we learned recently.
I love that.
I have one. That's why I wanted to share.
I want to bring up something, bro. Everybody,
Wait, let's do that after the key.
Everybody who sees this from that end that don't know what that is, I think we're sped. That is a funny thought.
What do you think? What do you mean? Semantic association?
No, I'm saying like
Oh!
they like you like.
But the people that have seen that are gonna fucking appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So something I've wait. Sorry. What?
I was gonna say, like, if you got final thoughts, and then we can close out with that.
Yeah.
I'll leave my final thoughts with what I'm gonna say next. But yeah, honestly,
Right now.
I'm saying for him, what the answer,
what he learned?
Yeah, but because like,
Okay.
because that is something I learned recently, like about the insecurity thing, about
Okay.
like gathering myself, because my stuff was spread out and they became fakes. So, yeah, insecurity is a figment of the imagination. You put yourself in that shithole, you can take yourself out.
Okay. And is that like us doing that?
No, I'm gonna have another one.
Oh, okay. All right. So what is it again?
I'm gonna break the rules I just made. I'm gonna make 2 of them. So the first one is something I learned a long time ago. Is that what we're talking about, right? What we learned?
Yes. Can you? What is it? Something simple that we've learned?
Yeah. What's something simple? What's something anyone can apply that you learned recently?
Okay.
So it's not like some crazy deep thought shit, but whenever you're if Kevon's in the room and I'm talking about Kevon and I'm telling a story, I should say, and Kevon, you were there, instead of being like, and Kevon was there, what do you think he wants to eat? And be like, Kevon, what do you want to eat? Because apparently, and actually I've witnessed this, it kind of just feels disrespectful. Whenever you're in the room, someone's talking about you, not to you though.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be talking to you. You get it. You get the point, I believe. I hope.
Where did you learn this?
I don't
I was learning
know.
that too.
We probably learned it from the same thing.
Okay.
It's probably Simon Sinek, to be honest. But
I think it is.
the next thing I learned is about eye contact. Like I said earlier, it's a big thing to me. So whenever you look at somebody's eyes, to make it really deep into where they feel your eye contact in a good way, try to dissect their eye color or look in their pupils specifically. And soften your gaze. That's about it.
Okay.
What if I'm thinking hard?
You would look goofy as fuck doing that.
Yeah.
That means like men literally have a habit of doing this. You know they do in the gym.
Oh my god. Doing us too when we play video games?
Yeah, men in general have a habit of doing that. Like it's what I've noticed. So just soften your gaze.
Okay. I'll go next. Relax your eyes. I'm gonna bounce off you. Relax your eyes. Stop doing this all the time. If you're a guy, girls don't like that shit, and neither do I.
Why do you gotta worry about that?
I mean, I already worked on it before, so it's just a part of me. But yeah, dude, soften your eyes.
Okay. For me, it's kind of along the lines of what we were talking about, the topic of the day. But something that I've learned is like, when you are being you, you're cool as fuck to everybody else that is on their way to being themselves or not being themselves. So the whole time that you were thinking you were gonna be, you were like too scared to do something because it wouldn't be cool. It's just the whole vibe of somebody that is free. It's cool. So being you is being you, and that's cool.
Bro. That ain't what.
Oh, I mess it up.
An original is always worth way more than any copy.
You stick out way more, and some people might not want to stick out, but that's a reverse insecurity.
Some people just don't stick out naturally, though.
Yeah, like about the insecurity. I was gonna say also is like I used to, I was timid. I didn't want to be seen sometimes, and that's why I brought up the fame thing, because I learned like if I'm going to be marketing myself to the world, I had to be okay with being seen.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you okay being seen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's a reflex not to, but I'm working on it.
Okay.
I think this conversation low-key healed a part of me that I brought up earlier of like, next time I feel a little insecure just because I'm seen, because I'm known, I'm going to think about my little kid version of me who was like, Mom, they're looking at me. I think you're going to think of that and be like, nah, bro, you're chilling.
I actually have one more. I'm going to break the rules too. I got one more simple thing. It's kind of deep, but I'm going to try to make it concise. Whenever you bring awareness on something, 9 times out of 10, it will just go away. That's it.
I know we're at the end, I'm not going to yap, but I did have something bounce off of that, because there are those people that know something about themselves, but they hold on to that as a character trait. And I don't like that. That's not good. That's them. That's them being aware, but sitting on it.
Biggest one is impatience.
Yeah. Or like let's say a girl says, I'm insecure. They know they're insecure, but they're aware of being insecurity, but they rely on, they still want to be.
Oh, and now they're like, oh, I can get validation from that.
Well, no, it's
I
more
never
like
heard a girl openly say they're insecure until I fucking get it out of them.
Well, I mean,
It's rare.
Yeah, but like, let's say a girl is like, I have insecurity. I don't like, when you go ask people like, what's their biggest insecurity? They have insecurity, but they're not working on it. They're not. They're just aware of it. But
it's like, oh, it's what it is. It's me.
Yeah. Or like, those people that don't want you to say certain things around them.
Yeah.
It's like you're
Bro,
imposing.
what if you're the one who made them aware of it? They just said the thing they always feel and they never realized it was exactly that.
That's a possibility.
We're teetering getting trapped into another hour yet.
Yeah. But yeah, that's something I don't like. Don't do that, please. Don't claim something as your personality, so you're just gonna live with it. You know what I mean? That you don't like, that you personally don't like. If you like it, then might as well. But if something about you don't like, don't latch onto that just because it's easy and it's too hard. I want to see active working on it. Yeah.
What if we just let the podcast like literally randomly cut off? Like obviously after the commitment ending, but what if that was the thing? Like we started another yacht session, it just cuts.
Yeah.
Sure.
But bro,
Sorry.
I've realized nature versus nurture. I'm a nurture guy. I believe in nurture way more than nature.
What do you mean? I've never heard that before.
Wow.
The way mainly that one video we made that was a hot take. I didn't realize it was actually a hot take until someone was like, "This is nature versus nurture." I was like, "Damn, it is."
I don't get it.
So what's nature and what's
the way
nurture?
you are? Is it natural or is it where you nurtured into that person? And the main thing people say is your genetics make you more depressed is a good example. You're genetically more inclined to be depressed, or you're depressed because of things you went through in childhood. That's nurture.
That's nature.
Nurture is like you grow into. Nature is it happens.
I think you need to tend to both if they're negative or positive.
Yeah, I think the reason nurture is the right answer is because awareness is consciousness. So like it has to be nurture.
Because I mean, my polarizing brain. Might be playing devil advocate, but like there's some people that nurture into insecurities. Like feed into the insecurity and like find ways. Well, for me personally, I started calculating my movements. What I'm saying, and that was me nurturing myself out of my insecurity, building up a wall of protection.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It was a bad thing. I mean, it got me out of my original problem, but it's not something I should be holding on to.
Okay.
But like, I agree with you saying I'd rather pick nurture though.
It's the biggest thing you did. It can be, I mean this as in like, it might be little to you, but still the biggest thing you did. Was it you started sharing more in the Instagram story, more what you actually believe?
No, not even close.
Oh.
No.
That's what I connected.
I still don't honestly post exactly. You'll see some crazy shit. They'll be thinking I'm crazy. They'll be like, oh, they sent him to a nut house. If I actually did that, but
yeah.
But yeah. that was a hump in my head though. Like even posting that. Like even those tiny things. I used to be like, people think quotes are like, let's say they posted a quote. They're like, that's, there's a lame setting like, oh, you that dude that'd be like that dude on Snap that'd be like posting a quote and he like think he's something and he be like, what is this nigga doing? Like,
I got somebody in my mind. We all got the same version, right?
So I'd be like, I used to be that guy, but now I am the person I was posting.
Yeah. He's like,
what, you posting the quote, not reposting the quote?
No, yeah. If I posted something and like, that's what he's saying.
Yeah,
and I am the guy that I was preaching to be. And
I'm part of us. The reason why we were judging is because we were scared to do our damn self.
That's facts.
Yeah,
facts.
Most of the time, I'm like, you're not even that guy.
Yeah, that is facts, though. That's facts. Sometimes
they're not the person.
Sometimes they're posing.
But I think you guys know that y'all are that guy. Like there's people that aren't that guy, and there's people that are, and I think collectively we are.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go back to whenever you're yourself, you're cool as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I feel that with you sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, a lot. Like yourself. My interpretation of yourself is like calm, collected, and doesn't really care what somebody thinks of them. And whenever I can see that, like you'll calmly say anything, and I'm like, bro, just keep on, cool as hell.
There's an actual trigger to even the positive things somebody says about me. A little kid in me, I'm not letting it get to me. But like, I'm like, you think you know me? And it's like that toxic, like you think you know me, but I'm not. That's not. I noticed that though. Like like when somebody says like, I told you when somebody thinks I'm not dangerous, I'm like, I feel vulnerable in that. Yeah. Like say to be like, you're just a nice, like if a girl be like, you're just nice. Like, what do you think you're gonna like? You could do me dirty? I'm too nice? Like, what do you mean? Like, it's like a shield of protection. Like
yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, man, I appreciate that about you. And yeah, I love you, boys, and I love everybody watching this.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Love you too. Spread love. I don't even know what to say.
He said he loves you.
Oh, love you too. He said I love them. I want to make sure they know too. I say him all the time.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Love you too, guys.